Information Officer at the DAAD Information Center in San Francisco, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar. We were having a little bit of technical difficulty on our side, so I apologize for the late start, and please bear with us moving forward. Okay, so the webinar today is Undergraduate Opportunities to Study, Intern, and Research in Germany. And before we start, I just want to do a very brief webinar walkthrough so you can all understand how to work the question and answer functionality. So first, do know that all the lines are muted, and we do that so that there's not a lot of feedback or static coming in from all the participants. The attendee list we have is hidden, and that is because there's too many attendees and the list would be too long. The grab tab that you see right here, letter B, that is so you can make your control panel larger and smaller. The audio pane here controls how you're listening to the webinar. And you can either listen via mic and speakers or telephone. And if at any point during the webinar you lose audio, sometimes it works if you click the other radio button and then click back to the radio button that you're using, and sometimes that resets the audio. You can also send me a chat through the question functionality if there's any sort of technical glitches, and I can try to troubleshoot. The question panes down here is how you submit your questions, and please submit questions at any time. I'll be gathering them, and we'll have a Q&A after all the presenters are done talking about their programs. But please submit your questions anytime. You just write here in the box, click send, and it'll come to me. So now an outline of what we will be covering today. I'm going to start with a little overview on DAAD and German higher education in general, and then our speakers will each give their presentations, starting with Britt Schenkel. She's my colleague in the New York office, and she'll talk about a number of DAAD grants for undergrads. And then we'll move over to Bonn, Germany, where Michaela Gottschling from our head office in Bonn will talk about the RISE internships. That's the research internships in science and engineering. And then Laura Montgomery, who represents RWTH Aachen. She's normally in the office in New York. There's a regional office for RWTH Aachen University in New York. She's normally there, but today she happens to be in Aachen, so then we will move over to Aachen to hear from Laura. And then we will have a question and answer session. So as I said, please submit your questions at any time via the chat functionality on your control panel, and we look forward to a lively Q&A at the end. Before we start, I just want to answer two very common questions. First is, can you share these slides with us? And yes, for all of you that attended, we'll send a follow-up email with links to the programs that we mentioned today, as well as a link to download this entire PowerPoint presentation. And it'll also be available on our website, which is where you can view a recorded video of this webinar. So those will all be accessible via our website. So if there's anything that you miss, or if you want to reference or share this with anyone else that you feel may be interested, you can absolutely do so. First, what is DAAD? Well, DAAD, as you can see from the bullet points here, we're funded by the German government. We represent all German institutes of higher education, and we really promote academic cooperation and exchange. We provide scholarships, information, and counseling about studying and researching and interning in Germany, and we also provide scholarships for all academic levels, from undergraduates all the way through faculty, and for lengths of stay as small as 3 to 4 weeks, up to 3 years if you'd like to do a PhD in Germany. Today we're just focusing on the undergraduate programs and scholarships. Our regional office for the U.S., the head office is in New York City. As I said, I'm in our San Francisco office, and we also have an office in Toronto. DAAD has a huge budget. In 2010, it was 392 million euros, and we support financially over 67,000 people annually from around the world. Last year, we sent almost 2,000 students, faculty, researchers from North America to Germany, and received just over 4,000 Germans to North America. And just a heads up for all of you listening, the scholarships that we're talking about today are for North American students, so students that are in the U.S. and Canada. And most of them don't have any citizenship requirements, so you can be a citizen of any country, but as long as you're pursuing your degree here in the United States or in Canada, then we see you as a North American student. So if there's anyone listening that is a student in another country, you can shoot me a chat question, and I will send you a link to the office that's closest to you so you can contact them for scholarship opportunities. Because we do have offices in over 60 countries, and each of them has a little bit different scholarship offerings and application process. You can see here's our offices all over the world, with me sitting here in San Francisco. One thing that may be of interest to those of you listening is recent developments in higher education in Europe. The Bologna process created a European higher education area, and what this means for you is that countries throughout Europe are moving or have moved to a three-tier degree structure, one that we use as well, the bachelor, master, and PhD system. So whereas before in Germany you would get a diploma, which was something between a bachelor and a master, and a magister, which was a little more than a master, right now if you start a university in Germany, you're most likely going to be in a bachelor program. And that makes it really easy for students here in North America to not only transfer their bachelor degrees to Germany if they wanted to pursue a master's, but also study in Germany for a semester or for a year and have the courses be easier to transfer back, and have the faculty and universities here understand what degree courses you're taking in Germany. There's over 800 degree programs that are taught in English, and that's a fantastic opportunity for you to be in Germany. If your German isn't quite up to the level to study with the native speakers, then you can take courses in English. And now I'm going to move over to my colleague Britt. I hope that we can hear her. Hi, Britt.
Yes,
Yay!
Hi Leslie, how are you? Well, we changed the microphone, so
okay.
Apparently that wasn't working quite well. And I was wondering if you could, in a minute, change over to my screen, because I wanted to show a few things on our website as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want me to do that right now, or you want me to? Do you have the PowerPoint ready too?
Yeah, I have the PowerPoint ready, and I sort of changed a couple of things there. So
great. Okay, there you go, Britt.
Okay, when ready, show my screen. Okay, so you can see my screen now, I assume so.
Excellent. Yes, great. I'm Britt. Take it away.
Welcome, everyone. I'm the program officer for the Undergraduate Scholarship here, which is the biggest program I'm running, but I also have applicants who are faculty members who are applying for research grants, and that's pretty much what I'm working on currently. But I've also just sent out big emails to fellowships advisors and study abroad advisors announcing the deadline of the Undergraduate Scholarship, which is on January 31st. I'm also in charge of a couple of other programs I'll mention in a minute. Now, the Undergraduate Scholarship is geared towards students who are going abroad in their junior and senior years. We occasionally have a fifth-year senior, so that's also an opportunity if you are studying towards 2 majors, or for some other reason studying for 5 years, you could still go in that last year of your studies as well. We give you a monthly stipend. We give you a lump sum towards travel and health insurance. And we expect you to stay in Germany at least 4 months, so for a German semester or for the full academic year. And then you're pretty much free to do whatever you like, of course, university study related. The large part of the people in this program are actually in an exchange or in a study abroad program, such as the Wayne State program, the Berlin Consortium for German Studies, IES, and there are many others. But we also have some students who are going independently, who are doing their own little internships, or who are doing thesis research, and most of those may stay for shorter periods than the full academic year. One of my current favorites is a student who's very interested in Richard Wagner. She's a music student, obviously, and she's going to be studying for a semester in Bavaria, but she's also adding an internship at a German opera house. And that's, of course, something that led our selection committee to give her the scholarship, because that's something you actually have to do in Germany, learn the opera, the way they put on the opera in the German language itself. So that's a good reason to go. However, German language is not a necessary requirement. We accept students in all fields, and particularly in the sciences, of course, we've had students who don't know that much German, or students who've learned German when they were in Germany, who are in the arts and in architecture, who may be doing projects with other German students and are able to use English as the day-to-day language. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the big main information on this scholarship. I suggest that you actually do go to our website for the details, and those are found at our undergraduate link up here. And you should also check out the if you like to see what schools the current scholarship holders are coming from, you could check out this link here, the DAAD.org/page/award winners 2010. You'll be surprised. You'll see a lot of big schools. You'll see some Ivy League type schools, some famous universities. You also see some smaller schools. This year, I think we have 2 students each from Coe College and 2 students from Hofstra University. And previously, those schools were not represented at all. So anything can happen here in our competition. I also suggest you look at the blogs our students write from Germany, and this is the one that the undergraduates have been writing. That's the daadabroad.wordpress.com. There are also links from our website to that blog. And you should also look at our young ambassadors who are spread out all over the United States and Canada. And you'll see a couple of those on the right-hand side here. There's Diana Bloom at the University of North Carolina in the Dirndl, and she put on a big Oktoberfest. And in the lower picture, there is our own Leslie with Jamaica Woodbury, who is at San Francisco State University and currently a young ambassador.